Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokemon Rejuvenation. So on the last part, we dealt with Angie, and we got her out of Crystalline Town. Which means we now have all of Crystalline Town to explore for ourselves, and, well, we also have Rockclimb, so we have even more to explore for ourselves. Speaking of which, it's time we got the TM. So right over there was the TM for Hail, but something I left out earlier would be a Zygarde Cell, which would be right over here on the left upper side of the cathedral. So that's nice. There's a little bit more to do around here though. So on this island, there's a few magical seeds, I believe. So there's another one right there, and I believe this is actually an elemental seed. So you might want to grab those. They could come in handy. There's also this fisherman right here who will trade you a deep sea scale or a deep sea tooth for 10 Occaberries. And that's not actually that bad. Moving along on our way back to Crystalline Town, there should be a shed shell right there. And this guy right here will give you a bit of lore about Crystalline Town. I'm not too worried about that. Instead, I want to make my way all the way back here. And, well, it's pretty much back to normal, which is for better or for worse. I do recommend that you immediately go to the Pokemon Center and heal up your team. Earthjoy is back here. Unfortunately, there's no more maids. But I do say that since your team isn't healed up since your battle with Angie. Also to point out, the regular shopkeeper at the mart is here, so if you didn't have all those entertaining Alright, as I was saying, if you did not have all the interesting and humorous conversations with the lady that was previously running the Pokemart, well, she's gone now. For now. Also, I just want to apologize up front. If you hear any weird noises in the background, that's probably my cat. He's a little bit angsty right now because he's not allowed to take down the Christmas tree. So anyways, there's a lot of pretty neat items around here, like the rare candy, and there's actually quite a few Zygarde cells around here too. So if we come up this way, there is a Zygarde cell right over here in these people's backyard. And if we re-enter this building, if we talk to this man, I believe, I posted a help request here in Crystalline, but Angie locked the help center down, gave the keys to someone else. I guess you could say it can't be helped. Yeah, it definitely can't be. So that's something to keep in mind for a little bit later. If we move down here, you'll notice that the TM shop is still completely frozen in ice, somehow. And here is the help center in question. Also, there should be a soda pop right there. But anyway, since we have the keys, we can actually enter it. But we're going to take care of the help quest a little bit later. And instead, we're going to head all the way over here, cut down this tree, and we can actually get a Zygarde Cell. And if we backtrack over here, this building is home to the two next virtual badges, so we're going to take care of that right now. So if we talk to him, hey, you have 6 virtual badges, right? Does that mean you want to take on my virtual gym? Let's see where you left off. After defeating Jasmine, you made your way to Mahogany Town. You walk into the Mahogany Gym to challenge their leader, Pryce. Pryce walks up to you and says, Pokemon have many experiences in their lives just like we do. I too have seen and suffered much in my life. Since I am your elder, let me show you what I mean. I've been with Pokemon since before you were born. I do not lose easily. I, Pryce, the Winter Trainer, shall demonstrate my power. So fortunately, these next two virtual badges are much easier than the previous ones. Especially Pryce. I don't think anyone actually has any trouble with Pryce unless you pick Chikorita, then you might struggle a little bit. But if you picked Cyndaquil, then this is pretty easy. Next up is Dugong, and of course we have V right here. Jolteon is just way too good. And a couple zaps, and this Dugong should be down. Next up is Piloswine, and I'm just going to go ahead and send in the Steelix right here. Hit it with a couple Gyro Balls just to weaken it up a little bit. Again, it doesn't help that Ice type is probably the worst type defensively, so there's that. I'll go ahead and send in the Jolteon again. And finally, here is the Jinx. This Jinx has Nasty Plot. You probably don't want to let it set up on you. Jolteon did have Hidden Power Fire, so I could have let Jolteon stay in there and slowly whittle away at the Jinx, but you really don't want to take that risk. But there we go. That's Pryce. You did it! You defeated Pryce! Alright, you've earned it, Icy. Please take this badge. Come back if you want to battle some more. Alright. Hey, you have 7 virtual badges, right? Does that mean you want to take on my virtual gym? Well, why else would we be here? Let's see where you left off. Finally, after getting 7 badges after defeating Pryce, you make your way to Blackthorn City. You find the leader of the city, Clair, cooped up in her gym. Instead of walking up to you, she demands you walk up to her. Once you do, this is what she says. I'm Clair, the world's best Dragon-type master. I can hold my own against even the Pokemon League's Elite Four. Do you still want to take me on? Fine. Let's do this. As a gym leader, I will use my full power against any opponent. So this battle is a little bit different. Could be a little bit tricky. Might not be. I'm going to start by switching into Metal Snake. Gligar, which is the new addition to the Cyndaquil team, is actually a good switch in as well. I mainly wanted to make sure that nobody got paralyzed. After that, I'll send in Hugh, and of course I got paralyzed. And I want to go ahead and lay down 1 layer of Toxic Spikes. And then I want to try set up as many spikes as I can. I'm not going to worry about having multiple layers of Toxic Spikes up, because Toxic isn't too great in Generation 1. Unfortunately, I got paralyzed and I couldn't do anything, so that kinda sucks. I'll go ahead and send in the Jolteon again. Jolteon has had its Hidden Power changed. It was Hidden Power Fire during the Pryce battle, but it's now Hidden Power Ice. So with that, we should be able to two-shot the first Dragonair. And next up, she's actually going to send in Rhydon. So I'm going to send in the Zygarde. The Rhydon's going to get poisoned, which will whittle away at it for a while. And I'm actually going to set up with the Gligar. And the Rhydon's going to do the exact same thing. So I think I'll try to set up one more. I'm pretty sure I can take this. And why not? I'll even roost this off. And I guess that's not really working, so I'll go ahead and just finish it off with a bulldoze. I'm at +4, so this shouldn't be a problem at all. And I'll go ahead and acrobatics the Gyarados for some major damage right there. Next up is another Dragonair. And I'll go ahead and acrobatics this. Might not take it out, but that's good enough. You may notice that she has a few additional members, and ooh, I didn't expect the Kingdra to actually come out right now. But that's fine. So this Miltank is definitely a tank, assuming I don't get hit with another Hydro Pump. But even if I do, I can just spam Milk Drink and stall out the Hydro Pumps if I really want to. And meanwhile, the Kingdra is just going to slowly get whittled down by the poison. So unfortunately, I'm getting really unlucky, and I'm getting hit by each and every one of these. And that was really unfortunate right there. So I guess I'll go ahead and send in V right here. Hit it with a Thunderbolt and finish it off. And finally, here is the Ampharos. This Ampharos is packing Fire Punch, but that doesn't matter. Metal Snake is going to tank that. And we're pretty much done. You did it! You defeated Clair! Alright, you've earned it. Please take this badge. You've done it, Icy. You've defeated all of our leaders. This is no small feat. Please take this as our thanks. And we'll get 25 AP points. You can use those points at the Cresselia Hotel for awesome prizes. And that's pretty much it. So that's a lot of AP. Anyways, we're not done with Crystalline Town just yet. I want to show something else off while we're still here, and that something is right down here. So we can't quite take advantage of this yet. Excuse me, would you happen to have an Alolan Sandshrew? Oh, I wish I did. If you have one, would you mind trading with me? I'll give you an Alolan Vulpix for your troubles. I really wish I did. Unfortunately, we don't have that yet. But we'll get it soon. Anyways, with that, we're pretty much done here in Crystalline Town. It's time to go all the way out into the big wide world and explore a little bit, since we now have Rockclimb. So firstly, I would recommend going back to the Cresselia Hotel and picking up some new items so you don't have to teach your Pokemon the HM moves, and then using the yacht, we're going to head to the Secret Shore. So here at the Secret Shore, if we move all the way this way, there's a little event that we can take part in now that we can use Rockclimb. Which, by the way, in between clips, I actually went ahead and went back to Gear City. I got the Golden Drift Board, which allows us to use Magma Drift without having to waste the move on our Pokemon. And I also got the Golden Claws, which is the item that lets you use Rockclimb without actually having to teach it. So anyways, we want to head all the way over this way. This next Pokemon is actually a pretty big one. So if we Rockclimb right there, cut this tree down, we'll find a Mudkip wandering about over here. And the Mudkip is going to play tag with us, basically. So that's always fun. So the Mudkip stays in this area for the most part. So we just need to move all the way back over here. And the Mudkip will be wandering around on this island. From here, we want to make our way back all the way up to the northern part of this island, and we're going to go ahead and surf and move on over this way. And from here, we're going to move back on over here towards the left. I'll be honest, my only complaint about this game is that the surfing music always has to exist, because the music for this area is so pleasant, so nice, but it's always interrupted. So anyways, over here we actually want to surf right below these two rocks. And if we do that, we can make our way over here and find the Mudkip once again. And up over here, we can also find a damp rock. If you move on up over here, you could actually enter the old Team Zen hideout from the side if you really want to. You could consider that as a shortcut towards getting to the next area that the Mudkip's in, but instead I'm just going to cut towards the outside of the front of the Team Zen hideout. Outside the hideout here, we want to make our way all the way down and surf across the water here. And right over here, the Mudkip is wandering again, but this time it's not going to run from us. Mudkip seems to be tired of running around. Battle Mudkip, sure. It always surprises me that we get Mudkip so early in this game. Mudkip is probably one of the nicer starters. Anyways, go ahead and catch Mudkip if you'd like. Don't leave this area just yet. Instead, we want to make our way back to the Team Zen hideout, because there's actually some really nice items for us waiting there. So we're just going to take the warp point right there, move on to the back, and there's a couple of rock climb spots right here. Take those and we can get the TM01 Scissor, and we can also get an upgrade item. There's also a book here that is, well, asking what we're doing in someone's swamp. And for the most part, that's all we have to do here. So the next stop would be Amethyst Cavern, again. So we want to be entering Amethyst Cave from the Route 2 entrance, and we want to head right immediately. So if we head over here, break this rock, and break this rock too, you might remember this rock climb spot. And we can finally enter it. We want to go ahead and enter this first cavern right here, and if we move a little too close, searching for identification, looking for users J and R, searching. It's not exactly happy to see us. So this robot right here is going to send out a Registeel. a shiny one at that. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop its speed, unless I get flinched, which would be awful. And hopefully I can get an Earthquake off right here. And that's some nice damage from my Golem. I can just send in Blaziken right here and easily finish it off with a Blaze Kick. Unit System A 362 failed in their efforts to protect confidential panel, self-destructing to prevent data mining. Well, that was lovely. So we're going to go ahead and activate this panel. There's also a few new Pokemon that you could find down here. I cut out the battle earlier, but that was actually a Xatu, which is something new that you can find down here. Also, before we go on any further, I thought I'd mention there is one other panel that you should have activated before this. It's in the main part of the Amethyst Cave. It's on the way to Shearden Village. It's right here. It should be on the screen right now. So go activate that if you can. Anyways, back down to this level over here, and I need to switch my party around. The reason I switched my party around was most of the Pokemon down here are really high level, and your chances of running away from anything depends on the speed of the Pokemon that you send out. So anyways, if we make our way down here, there is a Zygarde. I don't know how to activate this thing. Oh god, it's you. I'm sorry, we haven't met before, but you're quite well known among us grunts. Well, I'd like to say that, but I'm no longer one. I was fired for something I don't even remember doing. They said I deleted Anastasia's hard drive, and that's why that machine she made wouldn't work. But I swear, I didn't touch it at all. You don't even understand what I'm saying. I'm talking to a brick wall here. Well, anyway, I was fired, and now I'm here. I wanted to see my mother's grave one more time before it happens. But this place is all different now. I don't remember Amethyst Cave being so wide and open. Last time I was here, it was just a series of linear tunnels. But sure, I was headed in the right direction, but I was stopped by this roadblock. I think something is supposed to happen when this panel here is activated. It keeps telling me insufficient power supply. Here, why don't you give it a shot? So the Zygarde will move aside, and yeah, insufficient power supply. So that just means we have to keep on moving all the way down here. So up these stairs, right here is an elixir, but right here is a cave that has another robot in it. Searching for identification. Looking for users J and R. And unfortunately, we are not users J and R. So this robot will actually send out a Regirock. So that's going to be a little bit rough. Anyways, I wouldn't worry about letting your team get too worn out through these battles. We're definitely going to heal up before what happens next. So this battle is actually going to be really slow. I'm just going to cut it out. And with that security bot taken care of, it too will also self-destruct, allowing us to activate this panel. Unfortunately, we're not quite done yet. There is a mining rock out here, and also usually a Carbos on this rock. I must have grabbed it earlier. But that's pretty much it. And with this, we want to make our way all the way back to the Zygarde. and this time down the ladder. Down here there are two panels that we want to activate, one over here, and there's also a blue shard right down there, and then one over here, and there's also a great ball down here. And that's all the panels that are down here. We can't really do anything more here, so instead we need to go all the way back up to the main section of Amethyst Cavern. So again, starting from the Route 2 entrance, we want to make our way all the way back up through here. And again, if you didn't trigger this panel earlier, you might want to trigger it right now. We're going to make a quick detour into this room right here, where we can get the TM for Work Up. And then, after that, we're going to make our way into this room right over here. And drop down the Rockclimb spot right there. And this lovely person over here will greet us. Oh, you can use Rockclimb? How many badges do you have then? Oh, just look at your Pokemon. They're all so unique and strong. You must be a very special trainer. Your aura is so incredibly vibrant. What is your name? So you were born with the name Icy. Oh, what a nice and exotic name. Yeah, I'll say. Well, I was born with the name... let's not give my birth name, actually. I think it would be better for both of us if we use a nickname, no? Well, personally, I like the name April, so let's go with that. So, Icy, what brings you to Amethyst Cave? I'm actually looking for something. Something that's been hidden by an ancient civilization. You've probably heard of them before. The Garufa? You're quite the popular subject here in Avium. You're just so mysterious. Anyway, I believe I found what I was looking for, but unfortunately I can't get to it. Down the stream lies a huge door. You can actually see it from the entrance. There's a hole on the door that looks like you could fit something in it, but I have nothing like that. I'm actually going back to investigate it more. If you're interested in helping, you should follow. So we'll check it out in a bit. But right over here is the last panel that we have to activate. So that's all 6 panels. There's also a few gems scattered here and there, so they could be of some use to you. I would recommend grabbing them. So if we drop down over here, we can find a Zygarde Cell. Hey, it's the one called Icy. Looks like you decided to join me after all. So this is the door I've talked quite a bit about. I believe what I want is somewhere behind this door. Did you know that the Garfurians held their power behind huge doors like this to keep out foreigners? They knew they wouldn't last forever, but they didn't want their power to be out in the open. But I don't care how much they don't want me to have it. I want it, and that's all that matters. No, I need this power. I need it if I'm going to accomplish my goal. Oh, I'm sorry if I scared you with that ominous speech. Fact of the matter is, I can't open the door without something else. Would you do me a favor and help me search for what we need? I'm sure whatever we need is somewhere in this cave. All we need to do is find it. I don't know exactly what we're looking for, but you'll probably know when you find it. Yeah, we probably will. Which is why it's time to go back and heal up and actually go talk to the ex-Team Zen Grunt. So back down here next to the Zen Grunt, you might want to make sure that you have plenty of healing items for what's about to come up next. Sufficient power supply detected. Hey, it looks like that worked. My mother's grave should be really close by. Thank you. Sure, but we're gonna tag along, right? Oh boy. This data file contains the data for Code Ferris. That's scary. That's a pulse text, isn't it? What is all this? I'm starting to worry now. If someone came this far, then that means they found the graveyard as well. Did they leave it intact? Huh? Hey you, would you come here for a second? There's another one of these control panels. Only difference here is that it mentions something called a production line. Actually, it looks like it's waiting for an input from someone. You see? Right here. The start button is flashing green. Starting production line. Hey, look! Something appeared on the conveyor belt. Warning. Vital component core number 1 missing. 10 seconds before automatic completion. Vital core number 1 missing? Should we stop the production? Well, I guess that answers our question. I think whatever we made will come out of there. Madam X? Ma'am, I'm so sorry about erasing Stacia's hard drive. I don't even remember doing it. Please spare me. I promise I'll do better. Huh? This isn't Madam X at all. And it certainly isn't. So this is your last opportunity to go ahead and heal up and grab some healing supplies. This is also a good opportunity to go ahead and reorganize your team. But I'm pretty confident. This ain't Madam X. It sure does look like her. All the colors are wrong. Actually, there aren't any colors at all. Wonder if it came out wrong because it was missing a vital component? What's with this fog? Look at you, Manny. You're completely pathetic. Just look at how disgusting you've become. You watched me die from my disease. And then you tarnish our name even more by joining Team Zen. You should have never been born. You were a mistake. Mom, why are you saying these mean things to me? And as for you, you just left me to die, I see. After I loved you so much. You've just proven to me that you too were also a mistake. Oh, but that sad look you have. Do you want Mommy to make it all better for you? You want us to be together again, don't you? Don't worry. Mommy will make it so we're together forever. And here we go. This is a battle with the lingering regret, Nancy. So she has fairy types, which means poison and steels are basically your friend here. So there's a lot of different ways this could go. The Aromatisse right here has Moonblast, Sweet Kiss, Attract, and Charm. And overall, her team is a little bit towards the end of our level cap. So I'm actually going to go ahead and scumbag this fight with Minimize again. So somehow I got hit there, but that's completely fine. And from here, I'll go ahead and just gunk shot most of her team. None of her Pokemon are holding items, so that's kind of a nice handicap. Right here is a Clefable, has Return, Calm Mind, Hidden Power, and Moonblast. And unfortunately I missed my Gunk Shot. Next up is Slurpuff. This one only has 3 moves. I think on the hardest difficulty it does actually have 4. But right now it only has Moonblast, Toxic, and Draining Kiss. I'm going to slowly murder this thing because I actually don't have enough Gunk Shots for the rest of her team. So I'll talk to you in a bit. Alright, so that was something. She got frustrated and sent out her Sylveon instead, so the Slurpuff is still around. So instead we're dealing with a Sylveon, which I bit and poisoned with my Poison Touch. So Sylveon is at our current level cap of 55. It has Moonblast, Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, and Light Screen. I'm just going to hopefully hit this Gunk Shot and get rid of this thing. Next up, she's going to send in the Slurpuff, so depending on what happens, I'll get back to you again. So that is the Slurpuff down. And finally, here is her Gardevoir. It has Psychic, Moonblast, Shadow Ball, and Calm Mind. But assuming I hit this Gunk Shot, it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, I see. So that's how it is. You don't want us to be a family again. That's fine. We won't be a family again. But I can at least make it so we're all never going to be anything ever again. Get ready. That's a dimensional rift. I don't remember Zeta saying there were 2 rifts here. I think it's about to attack us. Be ready. So this is going to be the Dimensional Rift Chandelure. This thing is way over leveled. It has Heat Wave, Dark Pulse, Dazzling Gleam, and Power Gem for really good coverage. And it also gets Protean as an ability, which works out in our favor. Also, if you're wondering about my Mux HP, that's because I actually had to restart this fight over. This is a pretty difficult fight, and unfortunately, if you lose this fight, you also have to restart the Nancy fight, and yeah, you can see how that gets a little bit complicated here. So anyways, I want to go ahead and send out Blaziken, because chances are it's going to try to hit me with a Heat Wave, and that's a good thing. So Chandelure actually has a monstrous special attack, so not even Blaziken could take that. But that did exactly what we wanted it to do. So most of these attacks will change the field, but if it uses Heat Wave on any of the fields that they change to, it's still going to change into a volcanic field. And that's good. Good for us. Basically, what this does is it sets us up so that... Actually, I want to send out Sturdy Please right here. But anyways, as I was about to say, what this does is it means any Pokemon that aren't fire types take damage at the end of the turn. So if we can get this to change its type via Protean, then it'll take damage and we can slowly whittle away at it. So I'm going to send out my Golem right here because I want to hit this with the Rock Tomb and whittle away at its HP, or rather at its speed, a little bit. Unfortunately, I flinched, so I lose my Golem right here. That's just my luck. Thankfully, I do have revives. So, who is about to get sacrificed? Probably Amoonguss. Amoonguss isn't going to do anything, or Stotlin. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, I'm going to take this Revival Herb right here and just shove it down my Golem's throat and get him back in this. Meanwhile, the Chandelure will take a little bit of chip damage from being on this field, and I can send out my Golem again. And hopefully I don't get flinched this time. And that's really bad luck. But anyways, we could pretty easily just revive Scum this fight if we really want to. And I might actually end up doing that. In fact, I've decided that's totally what I'm going to do, so I'll catch you all in a few. Alright, so with this, the Chandelure should take the final amount of damage and finally faint. Thank you. Phew. So I'm assuming that wasn't actually my mother. It was just a projection displayed by that thing. Even still, that wasn't exactly the most pleasant experience. Anyway, where did that thing even come from? You think it was hiding in this machine and we disturbed it by restarting production? Well, the reason was... I think it's settled now. I think the graveyard is up ahead. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Well, this is it. This is my mother's grave. Well, this is exactly what I wanted to see before it happened. Which should be any moment now. Listen, I really appreciate the help you've provided me with, Icy. I know Team Zen has caused you a bunch of problems in the past, but we're not bad people. I've made a lot of friends during my time here. I'm thankful for it. This is one of my last few items I have. I won't be needing them. Thanks, Icy, for everything. Well, that is pretty horrifying. Anyways, there's still something else we can do here. So if we move on over to this part of the graveyard and change our clock, and as I was saying, if we change our clock to night, which you can do through your computer settings, since there isn't any other way to really change that, we can find a Zygarde Cell. There's also some really nice items scattered around here, such as that rare candy, the elixir, a resist wing, and finally up here should be an iron. Also, you can talk to the gravestones, and you can kind of see where a lot of this came from. Rest in peace, my darling Chandelure. Mommy misses you very much. I will love you always, Narcissa. Down here is Rest in Peace, Ellie. This one is unreadable. This one is Rest in Peace, Vivian. This one is Rest in Peace, Tylea. And this one is Here Lies Larissa, 1960 through 2010. Anyways, we're not quite done. If we talk to this broken tombstone right here, there seems to be an indent on top of it that's meant for a candle. And if we place the cursed candle, we'll be able to come down here and catch ourselves a Litwick. Litwick is sending you messages to your brain. Oh, did you defeat that thing back there? That was actually my own mom. I was born without my mother's trainer knowing, so I'm basically alone here forever. Are you a trainer? Do you mind if you take me with you? Thank you. I won't let you down. Well, you cannot let me down from my PC. Anyways, we're not done yet. So I recommend you go ahead and heal up your team, and then we still have a little bit more exploring to do. After healing up, we want to go down here again. It's time we helped April, and I have a good idea where the item she needs is. So we want to head back up this way, and inside of this room right here, we will find an item called the Moondial. And that's all we need. All we have to do is go back down to April and talk to her and see what's going to happen. Down here by April... Is there something you wanted to show me? I see. That item you have on you. Is that a Moondial? You mind if I take that from you for a moment? This is exactly what I needed to complete this contraption thingy. Take the Moondial and combine it. That there, and take that there and put it into the Moondial. And voila, it is done. Perfected, completed. Here, take this. I found this sundial in front of this door when I first got here. I figured that if the sundial was here, then the Moondial wouldn't be too far off. That's when I met you and decided to put you to the test. It's okay, you passed with flying colors. Now we'll take this phase dial and use it as a key to open this door. The door is finally open. I've been waiting a long time for this. I'm finally going to see the secret this door has been hiding from me for years. Well, there's no time like the present. Indeed, there isn't. So, if we move all the way up here, we'll have a little bit of a cutscene. These two Pokemon are Solrock and Lunatone. These Pokemon occasionally appear throughout Garfurian text and illustrations. Why do these two Pokemon appear in Garfurian documents? Could it be their astral nature? One day, I'll understand everything there is to know about this world. Please forgive us. Were we interrupting something? It seems they're interested in you for some reason. Their stares are unwavering and determined. Oh, I think I understand the situation, Icy. Perhaps they wish to use the phase dial. Here, I'll give it to them for you. Please take this. They're dancing. How strange. Aw, they look so happy, like a child finding their lost toy. This phenomenon is absolutely fascinating. Icy, care for a dance? Dancing is quite fun, isn't it? When you dance with someone else, you feel their emotions rushing through, as if two beings have finally become one with each other. Oh, are we done dancing now? Solrock and Lunatone fused. I've never seen this before. I see. Suddenly they don't look so friendly. Watch out. And they don't, but they're really not a problem. If you dealt with the Chandelure, then you can deal with this. It's right at our level, and a couple good hits or two. We'll take it out with ease. No, that kind of magic wasn't natural. Phase Dial must be infused with ancient Garfurian magic. Suddenly, I no longer have any interest in this thing. Keep it. I was looking for the phase dial so that I could give it to my sister. Oh, please don't be confused by my terminology. This person I talk about isn't my biological sister. Sister and brother are words of endearment in my tribe. We were originally traveling together, but we voluntarily split apart. She needed to get stronger on her own. We both knew I couldn't protect her forever. At the time, she didn't have a name, but it's possible that's no longer the case. I wonder what she's doing right now, my sister. She always had this chaotic energy about her. I hope she hasn't done anything stupid. I just hope she hasn't gotten herself into any trouble. That would be bad. Well, this is farewell for now, Icy. I'm sure we'll meet again. I'm sure we will too. And you can only guess who her sister would be. Anyways, I think we've done enough for this part. There's so much side content that we have to do. The entire next part is probably going to be filled entirely with side content on its own, and then we still have the help quests that are coming up. So, that's the thing. Thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, hope it helps, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.